What is up, everybody? I'm No Lux Given here with your afternoon snap, and yesterday I participated in the March Snap.Fan Open with this Galactus list that I just brewed up. This is an information-based Galactus list that uses both Daredevil and Kang to know exactly what your opponent is up to. From there, it plays a lot of typical Galactus shenanigans. We've got Wave into Spider-Man Galactus, then we have also Electro into Doc Ock Galactus, finishing those games off with Null, Death, and Shang-Chi. Pretty straightforward stuff. America and Kang also make the deck a little bit more consistent. There was room for one more card in the deck, so I put in Professor X. That way with Spider-Man and Professor and Dr. Octopus, you can do a little bit of lane lockdown when the Galactus stuff doesn't quite pan out. Let's take a look at those games now. So this is round one. I am just queuing up here, and you know what? I do want to load up my tracker, the untapped.gg tracker, and that could be a little bit helpful. But I am running a Galactus deck with both Daredevil and Kang. That's the plan right now. And we'll see what kind of stuff we are able to put together. Okay, well, the Hood onto Nowhere does seem pretty good for me. Do I want to just snap at that? Because it's going to be really hard for them to win Nowhere. They're potentially a Destroy deck as well. Let's see. Let's make them pop up. No, the tracker's probably still loading up. Let's... Oh, great. Let's go for this, and Master Mold. Wow, so they're actually going to deny me card draw here. So it's definitely a junk-style deck, and Master Mold's awkward. Master Mold is a really awkward card to play against. Okay, fair enough. I'm going to throw Electro into Kamartaj. That'll give me 2 extra energy, but the fact that we were denied a card draw definitely could be awkward here. Let's see what my opponent follows that up with. Maximus for no card draw. Fair enough. Very cool. Master Mold, one of the newest cards added to the game, and then I find Professor X. So I could use Professor X to potentially win a location here. I'm thinking we Kang Snap. This is a deck that could certainly run Cosmo because it's got Maximus in it, right? But I think we still give him a Kang Snap. They don't exactly know what we're up to just yet. They know they gave me Sentinels that I'm not planning on using, but they also know that I double ramped on Electro. That could be enough to make them throw in the towel. Do they have the Cosmo? No, they have Debris. Okay. So they have the Debris for Galactus. But we could still win with a Professor into Kamartaj, because they're probably going to make that same play. And then maybe figuring out something else to allow us to play Death later on. So let's rewind the turn. And let's still... Sorry, this is really slow. I was trying to see how how much lag is on the camera. Looks like a little bit. I'm going to Professor here still. I think that's a good play. And then we'll hope to just be able to play Death or maybe Shang-Chi into Xandar or something like that. Oh, they did mix up their play here, but we still win in Kamartaj, so it's fine. But now they're not totally bunking themselves in Nowhere. So the game's going to be a little bit closer. So next turn, we are just planning on drawing Chavez. And if they play something to Nowhere, they're bunked in Nowhere. If they play something to Xandar, they're bunked in Xandar. That could be enough to get the win. Let's see. They do still have that Demon, and they're going to play Ronin into Nowhere, which is huge. I can't Shang-Chi the Ronin. And now they probably just play Chavez into Xandar on the last turn. So I don't think I'm actually winning this one. We did reveal Professor X, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I think that's what we gotta do. Let's hit this retreat later button, and suppose we could snap here now. I don't actually know if that works in battle mode or not. So, I'm not gonna do that. But 1 cube to start things off, not super terrible. And we'll see what we can get up to. Alright, we're gonna take 1 damage here to kick things off, but that's totally fine. It would be nice to know if my opponent has Chavez or not. But they had Demon there, so I think even if they don't have Chavez, if they just play Demon plus like anything else, we also lose. Junk decks are rather hard to beat for this build of Galactus because Debris is annoying. Master Mold seems like that's going to be annoying for me as well because I rarely play a card on turn 2. Viper, also annoying. Shuri's Lab definitely gives me some options. Let's just Electro right now, and maybe we will Kang into Professor next turn. Alright, we can still Galactus into Kunlun. I'll just run the Kang and probably the Professor out there, but let's just Kang to start with. It is a little bit spooky that Kang can get Cosmoed. This does, like I said, seem like a Cosmo deck just because it runs Maximus. I know that Kang is not good with... Alright, well that's good that we got the Kang out of our hand when they start filling us with Sentinels. Kang isn't good with like Master Mold, Viper, Debris. Oh, some of my opponent's cards disappeared. Weird. Tracker's not fully working here, but that's fine. And what did they play? That all went away. So they played Angela and something else that I have now forgotten. They do want to play Ronin to the Onslaught Citadel, so maybe we just Professor there. Shuri's Lab doubles nothing. And then, yeah, because we got a card out of our hand, now the Master Mold does not totally brick me. And I'll probably just go for the G-Man. Why not? Let's run it out there. Tough to snap in this matchup. My death will be free, and I can play Death Shang-Chi on the final turn. But we don't know a lot of their top end right now, so it's scary. Let's try it. They very well could have Arrow, but they've already played Debris and Viper. They probably have a Goblin or something. Alright, Titania, pumped up with Shuri's Lab, and then they're going to give us the Titania, and they're also going to be playing a Green Goblin. Great. They do have Green Goblin. Not great. We dodged it. Great. That blows up a bunch of stuff here, which allows me to play a free Death plus Shang-Chi without priority on the final turn, and that's an easy win. Alrighty. Just gonna make sure nothing requires my attention on the other screens. No, looks like we're good. Let's play this, and then we can even hit him with a Sentinel. Okay, are they gonna stay in it here just for information? We're already at a cube advantage over my opponent with this win. Getting a little cocky here, of course, but I think this is more or less a guaranteed win. Dropping 16 power onto the board. My opponent goes Demon plus Ronin, which is just not going to be enough. So, I mean, that's definitely the most power that they could have added to the board, but certainly not more power than a Galactus deck that is prepared for it. Would have beaten Destroyer or something if I was still playing that build, but not beating Death, not beating Null there. So now we are up 9 cubes to 6 in a bad matchup. So that is really good. You just got to be patient and take your cubes when you can. Daredevil is really good. We can go Daredevil, we can wave out Null, and then we can hope to steal a win with Shang-Chi, with Null Shang-Chi. That gets a little bit tricky because it is tough to Null in this area and not have Ronin pop up in this area. So we could like wave Null and then Spider-Man or Professor X to keep my opponent out of the Citadel, and then Shang-Chi them elsewhere. It's kind of the plan that you do with a curve like this. So let's wave here. Wave might also bring out the Ronin. But again, I don't want Ronin and Null to be in the same location because that means I'm just winning one location really bigly, and I'd rather try to win some other ones. We've not even seen Carnage. This is like purely a Viper deck for giving me the hood. Okay, they're gonna play the Demon into the Metropolis and just barely take it over once they get the Metropolis lead. Okay, well now I think we go Null into Doc Shang-Chi. And that gives us some control over where Ronin might be, but we're just waving out a Null here. This could definitely make them make a silly play like, you know, play Green Goblin into Null location or something. Like if they have Green Goblin, Debris, or Viper this turn, they have to play it. Wow, they just go for Sandman. Okay. Well, Sandman I can mess with. I can also Shang-Chi a Demon right now, which is enough. That'll give Null 18 power. I can definitely mess with that. Yeah, I guess Shang-Chi can always win the Metropolis. So I should... but if I Doc Ock in the Metropolis, then they could play a bigger card against me. So what I think I just don't want Ronin in the Citadel. Sandman's going to keep Ronin big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I probably play Kang this turn just to cycle it. So I guess this is a snap here. This is a pre-Daredevil snap. Kind of a weird play that you have to make sometimes with the deck because it's worse to snap when it's your turn on the Daredevil. This just puts a little bit more interesting type of pressure on your opponent. And let's see what the play is. It is Titania. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Let's Kang. Okay, my opponent's going to retreat. Great, great, great. Yeah, I guess they can always do that. 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. Get some cubes, baby. Alright, Null and Death. I don't believe have yet to show my opponent Null, Doc Ock, or Spider-Man. Starting to think I'm not even running Spider-Man, though this is the deck tracker. It will tell me if I'm running Spider-Man or not. Okay, the Raft and Titan. Titan is a really good location for the deck. Raft is awkward because my opponent has a lot of junk. Maybe they will try to fill the Raft. Let's leave the Raft open. Let's actually leave... Let's play for Titan here. The reason that you leave the Raft open is because if your opponent is going to go for it, then you want the opportunity to Galactus there. And leave your opponent with a bunch of filled locations. This is just a turn 3 wave. I don't know where this wave is going just yet. We see Master Mold here. We could just drop the Kang for a second. Okay, I have to think about this, Snap. I don't actually love what we currently have. So that could have been something like Debris on Bar Sinister, which isn't that good. Oh, you know what? It was probably Green Goblin on Bar Sinister. I think that was a good retreat. Green Goblin on the Bar Sinister. We wave, we Doc Ock. They still have Bar Sinister available, so I think it's good to get out of that. I wasn't super confident. Oh, I don't think we've shown my opponent America either. Okay, Sinister London, not great for me, good for junk. Could get a little bit spicy. Let's go. The Hood, turn 1 into Sinister London. Okay. Like I said, we got a spicy game here. Bar Sinister as well. Wow, okay, my opponent could just snap right now. Spider-Man into Professor is really cool with Sinister London. So we have some play yet. Okay, Viper gonna give me the Hood, and will it give me anything else? Yes, it gives me double the Hood. They might snap to that. Not be totally shocked to see a snap, but Oscorp Tower gonna flip the script a little bit. Okay, cool. Cool. So I don't think I want to wave. Yeah, my opponent's not really incentivized to snap if we're already in double mode, though they're gonna go for it. They're gonna go for it. I guess they could play more junk here into the tower this turn. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. Because then if they win this one, they're winning. I don't like Sinister London. I don't like Bar Sinister. It's just so tough for this build of Galactus to beat those locations. I think my opponent found the way to beat me, and that's to just start snapping more. Gonna be a little bit cowardly, but that's part of Galactus, is you wait for your time to shine, and then you do something absolutely massive. So it's pretty close now, right? I believe this is 6-5. Yeah, it's always hard to count the actual life totals. New York, meh. Not great against Spider-Man, but a fine location for me to poop on. Los Diablos base, actually a pretty good location. It always feels weird to cheer for Los Diablos, but drop a Daredevil. My opponent plays an Angelo. We retain priority. Just for a second, though. And then the Bifrost. Okay, so no real crazy locations to consider. There's something cool we can do here. We can Electro into Spider-Man, Bifrost, and then Galactus in New York. And Bifrost actually is really helpful for us because it means that location's going to be, New York's going to be clear of junk. Oh shoot. Los Diablos ruined me. Okay, that's not great. We can try to win a location against Professor X. Yeah, I think with that Debris, It's unfortunate, but this deck does not have many opportunities to win against a debris deck, and now my opponent's starting to realize that. I might have had to stay in the game one game ago with the Sinister London, but my opponent doesn't really have many targets for me to Shang-Chi, and I also don't even have the Shang-Chi, so I think we're going to be doing some retreating here. My opponent now has the lead for the first time since the second game, and the score is 4-5 as we enter round 7. Electro and Wave, those are good starts. Sokovia might discard one of them. No, it gets rid of my Shang-Chi. It's unfortunate, but we do still have Null. Master Mold, not excuse me, not actually the card that I cared about. Kiln plus Spider-Man could actually be really good here. It's not about winning in the Kiln. It's about making it so that my opponent can't play elsewhere. We Electro into Professor, and then Spider-Man in Dream Dimension. So my opponent can't play there on the final turn. Okay, I think that this is playable. I think my opponent is still slightly incentivized to battle for the Kiln here. Missing 2 cards out of their deck. I don't know if that's just Chavez or what. I'm not going to snap on the Professor turn. I feel like that telegraphs it. Okay. We'll snap here. I can still play Kang. That actually scared me for a second. But I can still play the Kang. We have not seen Cosmo for my opponent in 6 games. 2 cards left in their deck. I'm going to guess no Cosmo at this point. So let's Kang. See what they play, then let's Spider-Man them. And then let's hope that Chavez is enough for the final turn. My opponent plays Hood and Viper. Yes, give me Rock. Nice. Okay, so that RNG will remain the same. And will remain only losing to my opponent. Actually, we'll be beating them by 2 going into the Spider-Man turn. So this is really good. We're going to rewind. We're going to snap right now. That's going to crash the game. Are we snapped up? Cool. Spider-Man. See if they battle. This is the alternate plan that this deck has. This deck only has one alternate plan in it, and that's Professor X and Spider-Man, and hoping for other locations that lock things down. But when that happens, my opponent now seriously has to reconsider that Viper play, because it no longer even looks good at all. But we're going to have 12 power. They shouldn't be able to put 12 power into the board on essentially turn 4. It's a Dream Dimension turn. So I think that we're in a good spot here. They're going to go the Hood and Viper. No, it's going to do the exact same thing here. Yeah. So we Spider-Man them, and then they have to retreat, and now it's 1 cube to 4. Cool. Cool. Okay. We're back in the game, baby. Back in the game. 1 cube to 4. So now we just have to win one of the next 2 games? 1 game? I don't know how many cubes this game is for. This game is for 2 cubes. We have to win one of the next 2 games. Okay. We got a battle here. We definitely have a battle. So we just play these games out regardless. My opponent has cloning vats, and they decide to play the Hood into the cloning vats, so they potentially have Viper. There's also Machine World, so they can junk me up with that. We probably want to play to the same location as them, because that's where they're likely to junk us. Like, I assume... Okay, never mind. Yeah, that makes more sense. Play the Hood here, play the Demon here. And Sinister London is the next location. So we're actually winning in Sinister London right now. I don't think we're going to go into the Galactus turn with priority, but I'm going to try to get us there. Let's wave. They're going to play Demon. So, no, they're going to play Debris. They're going to play Debris. Okay. So now this is a Doc Ock London play. And this could very well still work. It's going to totally junk 2 of their lanes. If they played a Machine World, it means that we can't... No, they're just going to play the Sinister London here as well. So this could lock my opponent out for the rest of the game. What's awkward is if they played a Machine World or if they play Mr. Mold, then we can't draw Shang-Chi. But we might not need it. Maximus. Shang-Chi. There we go. Okay. So now we want Shang-Chi to be able to kill Ronin in one of these locations. No, there's the Demon. But we're only losing by a little bit here. We can make this up with Chavez. Here's Master Mold. We don't have room in the hand. There's Debris. That's going to bunk my opponent. And that's a win, baby. Nice. Okay. Chavez is now a guaranteed win. So is everything else, though. But let's just play this and give my opponent the GGs of it all. Well played, well played. This is tough. This is really tough to beat a junk deck, but we were able to do it. Doc Ock got it done. I'm not sure if I played Doc Ock in any of the other games, but there we go. America, that'll bring us home and give us the last cubes that we need. Really sweet stuff. One thing that I wanted to point out, no Lex given from the future here. The round 2 opponent that I'm about to play against is the eventual winner of the tournament. So, small spoiler for how that match may go, but I think it makes the game a little bit more interesting in hindsight. Alrighty, round 2 is kicking off, and we're back. We'll see how we can do, if we can pull off some sweet Galactus kills, and make some fun stuff happen. Sinister London, not the exact start I want to see. And Quinjet from a Thanos deck. It's actually not terrible, though, because a Thanos deck is very quickly just going to fill all of its locations, and with Wave Doc Ock, we can kind of help them do that as well. Okay. The Volt's interesting because it does open back up. I think a Limbo play from my opponent means that they are interested in reality stoning the Limbo. They just drew the Mind Stone, so they have all the stones that they need. I'm going to stay in it here with a curve of Electro now into Doc Ock Null, meaning I don't even have to ramp my opponent. That seems good. They can ramp themselves with the Green Stone. It's probably why they're snapping. They have Leech for an early Leech. Okay, they're just going to Lockjaw, and they're going to Reality Stone themselves. We get Thanos from Daily Bugle. Kind of a wild game, that's what happens. Ooh, we take out Quinjet. That's pretty interesting. And then Space Stone was actually the one that they had. So, kind of a weird curve here. But we can Doc Ock to lock them out of this Lockjaw location. And then we can probably figure out something to do with Null and Spider-Man. Spider-Man is awkward because we can't lock down the Volt for the final turn of the game, but we can at least Doc Ock and turn off their limboed location unless they draw Reality Stone right here. So they're going to grab a She-Hulk and a Wave. Is that going to let me play Death? No, because I've got Electro out. Okay, so I'll still only be able to play one card next turn regardless. And the plan is to hope that we can Shang-Chi them in a location or two. Okay, Kang. Fair enough, and that's my Kang, right? Created by Daily Bugle. whatever. I won't mess with Kang. Kang's gonna crash the game in some capacity. Okay, that gives my opponent a lot of information because they're the Lockjaw deck. So they could now play to this Lockjaw. They could put their cards into Lockjaw in a different order. There's a lot of weird stuff. I'm going to try to mix it up here by going for Doc Ock into the Vault, which I don't love because it means that they can turn off Limbo. But maybe we can use Spider-Man. No, they're going for the exact same play. Okay. Well, fair enough. They're going to Lockjaw Wave us. This part of it all is a little bit unfortunate, though. Maybe we can do, like, Spider-Man plus Professor? And what do they get? Thanos. Okay, so this is still a big location for me to poop on with Shang-Chi. Looking for Shang-Chi and Professor. Though now it looks like I'm just going for a null win. Let's Kang into the Vault with a Snap and see what they got. See what they got cooking. Get a decent look at your opponent's deck when they're playing Lockjaw, though. It is a slightly different Thanos deck. Okay, and we do see the Magneto moves over the Electro into Limbo. So now the question is, do I want to try to one-up them by playing Galactus into the Daily Bugle? They knew about the Kang, too. I think I'm going to try to get a little bit tricky here. I'm not going to snap, I don't think. And they probably won't go for this same play, but I gotta try it. It's too funny. No, they didn't go for it. They went for Arrow into Daily Bugle. So they actually had both outs here. Okay. And now they've got Limbo. We could draw Shang-Chi next turn. I don't know if they've hit the Reality Stone. But even if we hit Shang-Chi, we need them to do nothing here this turn. And they're not waived or anything, so they're going to get to do whatever the heck they want. I'm a little bit nervous for Reality Stone, but I think I'm going to play it out. Do they have it? Space Stone into Reality Stone. Okay, they had it. Unfortunate. It's you can't play around randomness like that, but we tried. All right, so we lose 4 cubes now because Limbo's gone. It's unfortunate that that's the way that works, that you can lose 4 cubes without warning, but I knew it was a possibility, and I took the risk there with my opponent still having a few cards in their deck that I thought maybe it wasn't likely, but I guess if they actually drew their whole deck there, then that was a bad call by me. With Magneto and Arrow, does seem like we're kind of a long shot. They're also playing Death and Killmonger. I didn't actually see the Death, I don't think, but I would have assumed that they had it with Killmonger. And, okay, not the turn 1 Quinjet. Got the big house, that's not a great location. Shuri's Lab is actually pretty good for me, though, because I can null a location and I can Shang-Chi a big location. Okay, this is actually winnable. We just have to not get our Shang-Chi arrowed, which is very easy to have happen. Hell's Kitchen, not good for me, good for my opponent. Suppose I could wave here. Might make my opponent likely to run out their cards here too. The other play is just Daredevil into Electro, slightly off curve, or just Electro right now. Guess I should always play these cards here too, just to bluff a Oh, and they can't even arrow me. Alright, I'll play this. Okay, Quinjet into the Shuri's lab. They're definitely retaining priority. And now our only play is Doc. But I'd like to play Shang-Chi on the final turn, so maybe I go Null into Doc into Shang-Chi. Could even Doc into Hell's Kitchen to dodge Arrow specifically. Wow, they played nothing. That's crazy. They were just planning on losing, or they didn't want to commit more things. Huh. That's really, really interesting. Well, now I don't know if they're going to leech me or not. But I'm going to stay in it here for a second. Okay, no leech. Arrow. Great. And Reality Stone on Shuri's lab. Giving me Lemuria. That is absolutely terrible. Wow. Okay. The luck seems to not be in my favor on this one. So all I can do now is hope that Shang-Chi is able to... But Shang-Chi's not going to grab a win in Lemuria. No, there's no scenario where I win Lemuria here. I could tie it. No, I have to retreat this. That stinks.
Escaped.
Okay. Now we're down to just 4 cubes. This doesn't really help me. I'm just going to hold it in my hand. Alright, Daredevil could be good. Onslaught Citadel can be great. We've revealed Null, we've revealed Galactus, so they know everything that we are trying to do. They're going to play Reality Stone, get that out of there, and then Avengers Compound means that we actually turn off a lot of potential outs from my opponent. We turn off Arrow, and we turn off... No, just Arrow. Magneto's only an out, though, if we wave. I don't have any ramp, which is kind of terrible. Means I can't even play Doc Ock or Spider-Man. I guess I could play Spider-Man here, or I could draw something. Like, I can draw Spider-Man, Wave, Electro. Those are literally my only draws in the deck, so I have to draw something. Alright. Death. Wow, the actual worst draw for me. Okay. This is decidedly not going great. They're going to play to the hub this turn again, though, because they want to keep Compound open for turn 5. So maybe we double Shang-Chi them here and can set up for a big null if they hit like Magneto or Death. Cool. Okay. So this is at least a big null. Now we have to play to Compound, and we also have Daredevil sight on what they play. Okay, there's a way to win this yet. We get to throw a huge null into the mini lab. If we can win this location this turn, that's actually huge. So maybe we just play Doc Ock. Hope to get the win in Avengers Compound. Snap, because it's the only chance that we have of coming back in this match. They might take the bait here, and then we just drop a huge null into the other location. But if this Doc makes me lose, no. Okay, they're going to retreat. Okay, yeah, I think that's a good retreat from my opponent, to be fair. Retreating on the Daredevil turn, you know, there's so much that can go wrong there. Did not think about drawing death, but luckily we were able to kill their death, so it all worked out. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Soulstone into Mini-Lab. We've got Daredevil into Electro, and we've got Titan. So we can even play... Okay, well, yeah, they're going to get rid of that. Turn that into Asgard. I can mess with Asgard. Alright, my opponent snaps here. I feel like we just have to stay in these ones. Not sure exactly what I'm doing just yet. Where I'm throwing this Electro, but I probably throw it in the Stark Tower just for a little bit more power. We're gonna stay in it here for a moment. Oh wow, okay, they're going crazy in the Stark Tower. All 6 stones, that's what they have. Fair enough. And now they have 6 energy this turn. I feel like we could potentially win Asgard with Shang-Chi. That's kind of interesting. Asgard with Shang-Chi. We've got Spider-Man and Stark Tower for the penultimate turn. Puts me off of Galactus. If I'd rather try to Galactus into Asgard. Maybe that's better. Yeah, let's maybe try to Galactus into Asgard. This could be a leech. No, it's an arrow to move in my dock. Kind of funny, but they're trying to remove my Galactus location with this, and then they Shang-Chi, destroying my dock. Well, it just pumps up null, so it's actually fine. So it just means now my opponent is chi-less. We have to null into Asgard, and then we've got to blow up this wave. Well, wait a minute. If they wave here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus 8. That's 16. Okay, it kind of just turns into a little bit of a mind game here. Are they going to play something in the mini-lab that we can Shang-Chi? Or are they going to just play, like, something tiny that doesn't matter? I fear that Null gives it away. But I'm going to go for it here, and you know what? I'm going to snap because it's the Daredevil turn. And this should potentially scare my opponent off as well. But I think we got to play for it here. I think this is what we're going to put the whole game on. And now the question will be, does my opponent intentionally attempt to play around Shang-Chi? Oh, and I guess they just have to here. Well, no, because if they intentionally play around Shang-Chi... No, we can't just beat them on differential. Oh, we can find out what their plan is. Okay, that's what this deck's all about, information. Let's play Kang, see what they are planning to do. They're planning on playing Magneto Death. Alright, and I'm going to hit them with the thumbs up, making them think that we have just totally lost, and that they are still going to try to go for that play. And then we hit them with the Shang-Chi, which is enough to take over the miniaturized lab and allow Null to win in Stark Tower. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. They have a lot of plays here that they could use to win. Are they going to change it up? They do. They go for Odin into Soulstone. And I should have just gone for the Shang-Chi. Dang it. Dang it. Well, even if I had just played Chavez there, I still lose, which is the awkward part. Oh, no, I would have played Death. I would have played Death, but I still lose because this is a tie. This is a win by 3, and then this is a loss by 12. So, could have just not played Kang to not make them deviate on their play. That's always such an awkward part of the deck, is like when you think you have the read, and then Kang actually makes them deviate from what they did otherwise, but still I think a pretty fun match. Reality Stone's pretty annoying, but eventually they're going to make something in this deck have to change. But we were able to, I think, hold our own despite losing 8-0. There were a lot of moments in there that felt pretty close. Alrighty, back with round 3. Unfortunately, a loss to Thanos. That's just going to happen. It almost actually made me not even want to do the tournament today just because I knew there was going to be a lot of Thanos running around, though this deck is okay against Thanos. Part of the reason that I've switched to a Shang-Chi build is I figured I'd see a lot of Thanos and I'd see a lot of Shuri, and this might be a Shuri deck here. We can see immediately they're not a Thanos deck, and Sunspot is at least a card that the Shuri decks will run. So, Strange Academy Professor X is always an interesting option. Still definitely looking like a Shuri deck so far. And our third location is Subterranea. Don't love that, though. We could maybe make some interesting stuff happen with Doc Ock plus Professor in some combination. We really want to draw Shang-Chi in this matchup. That's why I'm playing this version of the deck. And we actually find that it is a Storm deck. So that's kind of interesting. I think we might give up the flooded location in order to battle harder into the other ones, but this could also just be a great time to throw down a Kang. Maybe not, because what does it tell us if they play cards here? Nothing really. This isn't a great location to Doc Ock in, because they could just continue to add power with Sunspot. So maybe I Doc Ock here, and then that still leaves the option open for me to Galactus into Null, or Shang-Chi in the cloning vats with Null there as well. So let's just play this here. My opponent actually does play to this location, so they're going to get additional power on Jessica Jones. And there's the second Sunspot. There's their Shang-Chi. So now I have to Null into Subterranea if I want that to work out. And no Galactus is awkward. No Null is probably more awkward. But for now, let's just Snap and Kang. Maybe this puts the pressure on my opponent. They're thinking like a Galactus play could still be a little bit awkward, and that's enough to grab us a cube. Cool. Info, baby. It's not really info, that's just Kang pressure. But I'll take a free cube. Yeah, didn't even do that much that game. I saw more cards from my opponent because we played a Dr. Octopus. I mean, we showed them Doc, we showed them Electro. They know that we're a Galactus deck at this point. That is pretty straightforward, I think. All right. Arrow, a little bit annoying. Seeing that from the Fisk Tower. Arrow's just annoying in general, I should say, though. Alrighty, so And this one I might be like waving out a null. Okay, well if I can electro out a null, that's much, much better. I'm just going to play electro here. They could storm. They'd probably storm the Fisk Tower, to be honest. And they are actually going to storm Lechigia. It shuts off the amount of places I can Galactus, I suppose. So one of the cool things Doc Ock can do here is shut off my opponent's ability to arrow me into the Fisk Tower. Like we go Doc Ock here, then next turn we can drop Galactus in the Cosmos, and then the final turn I can just play Null. So I think there's actually some good plays here. We could also just Spider-Man the Cosmos, but gets a little bit risky because my opponent might be able to win the Fisk Tower. Again, the Jessica Jones means that we're not going to dock them too many points here. And they didn't play anything in Storm, but we got their Arrow, we got the Scorpion. We might be able to put the Snap pressure on again, especially if we draw Galactus or Kang here. We can Snap. We don't, though. Do I still just go for it? That would be... I mean, this Spider-Man seems very, very unlikely to be able to win here. So what else could we do? Could we Null? Then they probably just do nothing. I think that we probably lost this one, but let's see what my opponent comes up with here. Wow, they just add the power into Sunspot and Jessica Jones, but what's awkward is I can't catch them. This is a bunch of 8s. I can't Shang-Chi, I can't just take over with Chavez, and I've got no way to win the flooded location right now. So my opponent doing nothing is just gonna get me. Unfortunate. Alright, let's slow retreat. We take a damage. That's fine. That's fine. You can't get away with the bluff every time. We revealed one additional card this game. We revealed the Spider-Man. My opponent basically played the exact same cards, and it's 9-9. So we're in a fine spot here. Daredevil, finally going to get some Daredevil info and some Kang info. So we've got some different cards to show them on this game. We have not really seen any Shang-Chi targets, and they've had Sunspot every game, which is annoying. Now it's a District X game. This is a totally different game. We could draw some Vibranium. I'm just going to go Daredevil for now. I don't think I want to add Vibranium to my deck just yet. So let's do that. Scorpion, kind of nasty. But a Scorpion doesn't mess with this. Ooh, is this a really cool play? I think so. I think this works out exactly how I want it to. I think I give them a Black Cat and then they discard it at the end of turn. I love District X. I think it's so fun. I think there should be a District X game mode. Let's see if it works. We give them a Black Cat and then they discard the Black Cat. That's awesome. That's just so cool. That gives me priority now too. So definitely we have to start considering some stuff with that. We don't have great draws here though. Next turn we could play Vibranium plus Mysterio. I don't love it. Then the following turn we're just playing Magneto, which can probably steal District X itself. Plus the Mysterio is a little bit of hidden information. Alright. I'll drop Spidey into the mines this turn. They're also going to play in the mines. And they're going to play a Jessica Jones. So Spidey works pretty well for them there then. Fair enough. Alright, we'll get to see what's up with Daredevil. And then we'll also get to see what they're doing on the final turn. So we do have some info. Vision actually quite good. And on the final turn, we're just going to find a Vibranium here. So they're going to stay at 6 power, which means this actually is winning in District X. Unfortunately, Magneto drags Jessica with it. But I'm just going to play this for now, and then next turn we get to Kang Snap. Okay, the clones don't keep that -1 though, do they? If they do, this was kind of a terrible play, but nothing to be done, I suppose. Let's play this. It's Kang Snap. And let's see what they got. We're only currently winning by 1 in District X. And Magneto isn't that great. But we get to see what they have and what their exact plan is. Armor, looks like their plan is to leave this alone. We lose to the Thing. But if they double drop here, 13-6, we can Magneto in District X and beat this. So I think with limited options, I am going to attempt to beat the exact play that they made. A lot of ways this could backfire. A lot of ways. But it's worth it for 2 cubes. Okay, they made the exact same play. Nice. So we win in Machine World, and then Magneto is able to take it in District X. That's a tough call to know if they're going to keep to that exact same play. But I don't really have many options there. It's just kind of a mind game. Sometimes a lot of people will deviate, but I just have to hope that they didn't, because I think that was one of the few ways that I could actually win, and it was worth the 1 cube gamble, in my opinion. So, worked out, and now we are on to round 4, up 9-7. Shuri's Lab, Galactus and Wave. Okay, we know my opponent's deck has Arrow, but short of that, not too much else. So we can play around Arrow with Daredevil, Kang. Yeah, still Kang. Professor, Doc Ock, a lot of different ways to get information here. Yeah, so I think the plan here would be Electro into Professor into Galactus. Maybe into Kang into Galactus, same kind of thing. Though, I'll probably save the Kang at that point. Without my Shang-Chi, the thing is I don't know if I'm going to draw Shang-Chi or Null or neither. I also don't know what Westview is going to be yet. Let's just play Electro here. Okay, they're going for it. They're storming, which is actually fine enough for me. So now I can kind of commit them to one location. Let's see what Westview is. That's Avengers Compound. So, we know that they have to play to the compound on turn 5. That could just be enough to give me Shang-Chi priority. I don't really want Vision to come into this game. I think that... Oh, I guess they're only going to play Vision on turn 5 anyways. What am I thinking? So... I think I will just continue to play... Actually, you know what? Maybe I just play Daredevil here and continue to get information on exactly what they're playing. We know now where they are going to play it. Let's find out what they are going to play. Okay, this seems good enough. They play Lizard to Kunlun, which means that Avengers Compound is just going to be turns 6 or 5 and 6. We draw Spider-Man. They are really Shang-Chi proof. Well, they snap. doesn't really bother me. Because we're going to see what they're doing here. And looks like Vision is the play. Yeah, these plays are really awkward from this deck, because now even if I Shang-Chi that, it's not good enough. So I think we have to retreat here. How dare you snap into Daredevil? But you got me. You got me. Yeah, these, this deck and then round one, both like totally Shang-Chi proof decks. And I switched to this version of the deck to be able to run more Shang-Chi, like I said. So, a little bit unfortunate. My opponent has yet to ever play to the location where they played Storm. Kind of crazy. Electro and Wave off the rip. Wave is good if we can find some information. Oh, and we are in high stakes mode. Okay, Iceman. Gonna get the Spider-Man off to the races. Project Pegasus now a bunch of extra energy this turn. And we're gonna Kang. Fair enough. That's a pretty easy Kang Snapperino. Project Pegasus is really threatening. Kang draws us an extra card here, so could even draw us into the Galactus. Opponent's going to play Magneto into the Project Pegasus. And we saw in the last game they did not change after a Kang play. So we do have that info, though. Honestly, if we are able to... I mean, I'm not going to blind run a Shang-Chi out there, but if our Galactus keeps the Magneto alive, Kang kind of doesn't work with the tracker. What I'm getting at here is we can, like, Spider-Man to keep them out of this location. Sure, I'll run it out there. Okay, they make the not exact same play. They play Vision this time, which would allow them entrance into the Stark Tower. And they will probably go for that. This is now a little bit awkward. Let's just play this here, though. It's awkward that I threw away my Null. But I think that we can still make some good stuff happen. All right, Storm is incredibly awkward because now I cannot really go for this here. Can't play. Nobody can play to the big house this turn. I can't really play to it next turn either. Yeah, it's a pretty good snap. So the trick here is that even if my opponent... there's like a very, very sneaky way that I can win this, but I don't think it's worth it. It would be Shang-Chi this turn in the flooded location, kill the Magneto. Then when they move over Vision into Stark Tower, I lock it in with the Professor X, and Null is bigger, and then Vision can't leave. Oh, it's so funny. It's such a funny play. I think I have to retreat here, though. It maybe would have worked. It's counting on a lot. We did have a lot of information there. I don't know how likely my opponent is to make that play. I mean, probably. I just don't want to... You know, right now we're basically tied on cubes. I'd like to keep that even for right now. Mirror Dimension's fine. We get to play a turn 2 Daredevil. That is good as well. Bifrost is reasonable. Let's just dump this here. And I assume Scorpion. Yep. That's fine. Okay. So X-Mansion is the last location. And what's interesting about this is we could walk away from this with priority. I could do this. No, that doesn't really help me keep priority. I guess this could help me keep priority. Alright. I keep priority, but they reveal that one card in their deck is Cosmo. So now we need the mirror dimension to move things over. I do keep priority with this X Mansion. I would have like double Bifrost and then I could Spider-Man here and everything moves out and then I've got Bifrost to myself. Though I don't actually get to play Galactus on turn 5, come to think of it. This is turn 6 Galactus or bust. So in this game, it feels like I am playing Doc Ock into Spider-Man gaming. We could play Death. My opponent does have Shang-Chi for Abomination as an available play. So maybe I just Doc Ock here or here. It's better to Doc Ock here. You get more cards out of their hand, and then they can't double Shang-Chi. Let's try this. We Doc Ock, and what do they got for us? Jessica, Magneto, okay, Arrow, Lizard, and Vision. Okay, fair enough. That's actually going to allow them to continue to play into X Mansion, which is actually kind of annoying. They probably just keep it there. They could swap it out for like a slightly cheaper card. Oh, I guess I'm full in X Mansion. So there's not actually too much I can do there. Their plan is now Vision over here, Jessica. I think I might lose this one, which makes me regret not going for that sweet play in the last game. Don't really see an avenue to victory here. Next turn, I'm just going to draw Chavez. This is really my only play. I mean, I can put this here. Doesn't even seem that good. I think I'm just going to play it and then slow retreat here. Yeah. Out of options. So they can just play anything super tiny into X Mansion, like they can play Iceman or Sunspot, and then play something larger into the Bifrost. So we were dead. We were dead on that one. Now it is starting to look less great. All of a sudden the score is 7-4, and they've got double me. Okay, fair enough. Daredevil's good. You can see why the deck isn't like that great either. Just having a bunch of information doesn't necessarily always translate into wins. It was good enough to get me into Infinite this month, but it might not be able to do too much more than that. All right. A lot of hidden things, a lot of hidden info. I think I probably just Daredevil, Electro, and then hope to draw Professor Doom or Spider-Man, or not Doom, Dr. Octopus rather. Alright, we have Onslaught Citadel Null, that's huge. So now we can go Electro into Spider-Man Lemuria, that way they can't arrow me. We can still play the Spider-Man, and Storm is such a nasty card against me. Dang, 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 dang. I'm never expecting the Storm. I think I probably just lose this. They've never played to the Storm location yet, but I think this is one where they're going to. Doesn't matter, let's Professor it regardless. They do play the Jessica, yeah. I felt like they were set up because they can't really play Jessica in Dark Dimension. doesn't make sense to do anything else. I think we'll potentially see a snap from my opponent this turn. We, I think, have to play the Kang. And we see that they've got Cosmo, so they got their bases covered. Let's just Kang it up. I'm going to snap here, just for pressure. Don't think it does anything. But I still have to play the Kang, because it draws me a card deeper. It does allow me to snap, which, like, at least makes my opponent think here, right? But it's not too much that they have to think about, really. So Doc Ock into the Cosmo could be cool. Let's get back in it. Sometimes it feels BM to play Kang, just because, like, I know the writing's on the wall. But I just have to give myself a little bit of a chance. I hit Wave. Not great. Not great. Probably just have to play something here, so that way they don't know what I played. Though, I think I'm just about ready to throw in the towel. Oh yeah, and we're just drawing Chavez here. I'm going to slow retreat one more time. It puts me in a really terrible position, 2-7, and regretting that I didn't go for the sweep play. I never, like, I don't regret that I lost. I just regret that I didn't go for the sweep play, the highlight, that kind of stuff, you know, because that could have been a really fun moment. But I will give it an honest shot here to try to grab the win. I think we're just going to go down slowly but surely. I mean, Storm is really good against the deck. Sunspot is good against the deck. And then obviously Arrow, pretty strong against us as well. They don't have the Sunspot this time. Luke's Bar is reasonable, though with Vision and Arrow, there's still, and Storm, there's a lot of ways this can still go wrong. I still need to draw Ramp here as well. It's not exactly the ramp I was looking for. It's not ramp, but it's not great either. All right, Cosmo. You got it, dude. Think I will probably Spider-Man in the Quantum Realm, Doc Ock into Cosmo, try to Professor X in Luke's Bar. But we'll see. Okay, Jessica Jones is really good in the Quantum Realm, and we're Spider-Manning them there. I always Spider-Man into Jessica, which I think gives my opponent way too much insurance. And I actually could have still won this if I drew Galactus this turn. My opponent can't Arrow me. Wow, that's unlucky. That's unlucky. They can't Arrow me, and then we would have had Professor X into Luke's Bar to potentially get the 50-50 win, maybe tie. So there's no reason to Kang. I can't snap. This is all I can do. No, you know what? The only play here now, I think, is Doc Ock into Cosmo. Hope that they... Storm? Dr. Doom. Okay. Okay. That is the final card in their deck. I feel like I just said Dr. Doom when I meant to say Dr. Octopus recently. So... The only way that we can win this is to Professor X into Luke's Bar. They're probably going to play Dr. Doom again, though. So maybe we can convince them not to play Dr. Doom into Quantum Realm, which is otherwise their play. I mean, yeah, I think they just play Dr. Doom into Quantum Realm here, and because they have priority, their Doombot is going to beat our Professor 5-3. Here's a great example of information not being enough to save me. If I could also play the Daredevil there this turn, that would have worked, but I think short of that, we can just hope that they pivot and now play the Doctor Doom here, but that still loses. We need them to play Doctor Doom into the Cosmo location and totally convince themselves that that's the right play. Doctor Doom, yep, that's going to be a win for them. Well played, Edo Kill, but unfortunately, we were not able to get there. And with that, that is 2 losses for me in the event, which probably puts me out of contention to win any sort of prizes or recognition or anything like that. So I think I'm going to sign off here for today. That's going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.